Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we will be trying to address an issue that has been reported by many users. They're not able to create an application, a React application with TypeScript template using Create React app. Let's see if we run into the same issue and how do we identify and fix the problem. So this will be a complete walkthrough of everything that you need to do to identify where the problem is, how do we address it and fix it, so that in case you run into similar issues in future, you're able to resolve it by yourself. Let's get started. So I'll just open command prompt here, pull it into the screen, and we'll run the command we are all familiar with by now. Create React app. Let's use the latest version. The step would be the name of the application. Template that we are using is TypeScript template. So it's starting to create the project and dependencies. So this all comes from a scaffolding. Scaffolding has a set of commands that it needs to run in a particular sequence to generate the project or structure in your local machine by taking some inputs. So we already provided those inputs as a part of that command, the application name which is tested, and then your template. Now it's starting to install and we can see it failed. It ran into an error. Let's try to understand what the error is saying to us. It's telling us that React 19 is the dependency in root project, but testing library React, which is any version around 13, is requesting React 18. And since these two don't match and it's a major version difference, so 18 to 19, the process errors out and it's not able to complete the scaffolding installation. And it tells you that you can find all these logs as well. And this is the command which it was trying to run, which is failing. So if we see, we will not see any entries for types, jest, node, and other things. Basically, all the dependencies that you see here will not be there in your package.json because it failed midway. So to check package.json and others in detail, let's open the test app in VS Code. So here is the project opened in VS Code. And as we can see, in package.json, it was not able to install the remaining dependencies and it did not even generate a tsconfig file. So these are the two things which we need to fix. Now, one is a very quick fix. Let's do that first. So for this, we will create a new file, paste the command and add word wrap. As we can see, these are the libraries which it was trying to install when it ran into error. So let's see what are the latest versions of these dependencies available in npm registry right now. How do we check that? You just type npm your dependency name. The first link that opens up is usually the right one. So you can see testing library jest DOM, the latest version available is 6.6.3. So we'll update this to the latest version. Similarly, testing library React, again you copy it and now you can paste it directly into the search box. It will tell you it's 16.1.0. Let's update that. User event is the next one. Search for it. This is 14.5.2. So why I'm very comfortable in these major version updates is because React has been updated to a major version. To accommodate the major version that has been updated by React, most of the libraries would also update their major version to signify that change. And that's why we can safely do that. For types just and wherever you're not sure whether it should be updated, you can just remove the version explicitly mentioned there. So it will look for the best version and install that. Similarly, I'll remove that for Node. For React, we definitely know it needs to be 19 because we are using React 19 in our application, and same for React DOM. Typescript, we can let it be anything greater than 4.4.2. And Web Vitals, even though the latest version, if you see, even though the latest version is 4.2.4, we will continue to use 2.1.0 because the file for Web Vitals which is generated is using the older methods which were available at that time. Newer versions have a breaking change where we would have to rewrite this report Web Vitals once again. So I won't go into that right now, but just a call. So that's why we are comfortable with this version right now. Now we can run this command once again and see if it runs successfully. So I'll paste this, press enter. So testing library React, we forgot to add a dot. It's 16.1.0. Happens when we manually type some things. It's okay. Yeah. Now we see there's no error. The installation was successful. And if we see, now the dependencies are here. You don't need CRA template TypeScript because it was not able to complete the update, and that's why that dependency was still there. But now one thing which is missing is tsconfig. So tsconfig you can take from any of the existing projects. Let's go to our shopping cart project and take this tsconfig. You can also generate it using tsc init, TypeScript compiler, initialize a new file, and then remove all the values or use the defaults. But since we have a previous version, we can use that. If you want to understand what all these options mean, it's there in a previous video. I'll add a link to that video at this particular timestamp. But let's go ahead and paste that. And now with tsconfig, you would start to see that everything would work, but you would see an import error whenever you're trying to read the logo.svg. Let's see that error and then we'll see how do we fix it. So I'll just run npm start. Everything should work except that import. And here we see the same error. So whenever you're trying to import something, it's breaking. Why it's breaking? Because even though we added TypeScript, it does not have a type definition for logo.svg. You can create a global.d.ts file. Usually that's the norm in TypeScript projects. But in Create React App, if you look at the older versions, it used to give you this. For React app environment.d.ts, you can use the React scripts references. So that's what we'll do. We'll just copy that file and paste it here. Now this would be available. And we can see now there are no issues in our application. You have a React 19 application with TypeScript enabled and latest version of React testing library running in your system. And that's all you had to do to fix the issue. Hopefully, you all were able to fix the issue. I would also provide a zip of this Create React App starting project that we just created so that you can take the files necessary in case you want in your project. And please let me know if you're stuck anywhere or you need any additional help. I'll be more than happy to go through the issues and probably address them the best way we can. Hope this helps. Thank you for joining in.